Auguste Comte. Auguste Comte is called as the father of sociology, as he has introduced the subject sociology to the world in 1839. He was a French philosopher. His important contributions to sociology are law of three stages, hierarchy of sciences, divisions of sociology, and positivism. Now let us see the life history of Auguste Comte. Auguste Comte was born on 19th January 1798 in Montpellier in France. His father was a strong Catholic and petty government official. Auguste Comte was very small, delicate, and subject to many illnesses. At the same time, he was very brilliant at the local school. At the same time, he did not like the parental authority and religious authority, and he did not like any emperors. He had more interest in mathematics and linguistics when he was studying school. He had more brilliance and more memory power. The other children in the school called him as philosopher. Because of his interest in mathematics, he got admission in École Polytechnique, a prestigious institution in Paris. This institution trained the people to become engineers in public services. In 1816, along with other students, Auguste Comte organized a protest against the authorities of École to protest the outmodel way of examinations. The authorities wanted to punish the students who involved in strike. So Auguste returned home at Montpellier. He gave tuition in mathematics, but his future was very dark. At the time in France, there was both mental and spiritual frustrations. There was destructive effects of French Revolution. Auguste Comte, he felt the destructive effects of this French Revolution, and there were more doctors without patients, lawyers without clients. Most of the people remain unemployed. This type of system affected Auguste Comte, so he wanted to reorganize the society. That was his primary goal. In 1817, Auguste Comte met a social philosopher called Henry de Saint-Simon. He was 60 years old and Auguste Comte was 19 years old. They were like master and disciple. They worked together and published an article called The Plan of the Scientific Operations Necessary for the Reorganization of the Society. But in 1824, their friendship came to an end with a difference of opinion. In 1825, Auguste Comte got married, but his marital life came to an end in 17 years. Auguste Comte had a stressful and isolated life throughout his time because of his personal dissatisfaction. Auguste Comte was invited by some group of people. He gave more number of lectures on positive philosophy, and from the year 1830 to 42, he gave lot of lectures, and these lecture notes were published as a course of positive philosophy. In his later years, between 1851 and 54, he published another work called Positive Politics in 4 volumes. In this book, he emphasized the importance of theory of sociology in solving the problems of society. His life came to an end in June 1857. Now let us see the 2 important contributions of Auguste Comte. One is law of 3 stages and another one is classification of sciences. First let us see the law of 3 stages. Auguste Comte compared the development of society to the development of an individual. As the individual passes from the childhood to adult, the society also passes from theological stage to positive stage. Let us see these 3 stages one by one. The first stage is called theological stage. Theological stage is otherwise called as fictitious stage, that is imaginary stage. This stage is the characteristic of the primitive society. In primitive society, man thinks in terms of supernatural beings. He thinks that all phenomena are due to God. This stage is compared to the attitudes of children. Children think everything in terms of God. Anything, that is the birth of a child, death of an individual, the growth of plants, or famine or earthquake, anything the child thinks, all these are due to supernatural beings. The same way, primitive man also thinks that all phenomena occur in the society through these supernatural beings. This theological stage has passed through 3 phases, that is fetishism, polytheism and monotheism. Fetishism means faith in fetishes. Fetish is an object which is believed to have magical power and which brings luck to the person who owns it. This fetishism is also called as animism. Animism means the belief that all animate and inanimate objects are having some supernatural powers. This type of belief existed in primitive society, and they thought that this supernatural power are responsible for all phenomena. But when they had more number of spiritual beliefs, they had some confusion. So they wanted to combine some spirits to God. So from fetishism, the polytheism emerged. Polytheism means belief in many gods. In polytheism, different phases of life are having different gods. For example, we worship goddess Saraswati for education, goddess Lakshmi for wealth. The same way the primitive people, they worshipped different gods for health, education, protection, like that. After that, this polytheism developed into monotheism. The people thought that there was only one God mainly responsible for all occurrences in the society. Monotheism was the climax of this theological stage. In theological stage, the warriors and priests were dominant. The king was considered as the supreme being. King was considered as the divine being, and anybody who was disobedient to the king was severely punished. Social order was maintained very easily. From theological stage, then arose the metaphysical stage. The metaphysical stage is otherwise called the abstract stage. In metaphysical stage, the people thought that all phenomena were not due to supernatural beings. They thought that it was due to the abstract quality, that is unknown quality. Instead of God, the cause and the directing force of the nature was the power or occult quality. The stage is compared to the attitude of the adolescents. The adolescents, they will be in between the scientific beliefs and the religious beliefs. During the childhood days, we give the religious beliefs to the children. But during the adult stage, they are providing only the scientific ideas. During the adolescent stage, they will be in the stage of transition. They do not have faith in the religious ideas. At the same time, they do not believe scientifically everything. So this abstract stage is compared to the mind of the adolescents. During this metaphysical stage, clergymen and lawyers were dominant, and the arts and sciences flourished well, and development of state took place, and women flourished well, and they had improved status. These were the characteristics of this metaphysical stage. This metaphysical stage had two phases. The one is the destructive period, and another one is constructive period. In destructive period, they had destructed the idea that God was responsible for everything. In the constructive period, they started to construct the scientific ideas. So the metaphysical stage is called the transition period, in which the theological stage is transferred into the positive stage. Society has passed from metaphysical stage to the positive stage. The positive stage is called as the scientific stage. In scientific stage, man thinks everything in terms of facts. He wants to collect facts on the basis of observation and experience. In this stage, the industrial society became dominant. The priests and the warriors were dominated by the scientists and industrialists. In this stage, the state, church and family work together for the welfare of the human beings. In that way, Auguste Comte divided the development of society into theological stage, metaphysical stage and positive stage. We can summarize the law of three stages in following ways. If we take the nature of society, in theological stage, military society was dominant. In metaphysical stage, legal society was dominant. In positive stage, industrial society was dominant. If we take into account the unit of society, in theological society, there was family. In metaphysical stage, there was nation. In positive stage, there was entire humanity. If we take the basic principle or type of order, in theological stage, there was love, domestic order. In metaphysical stage, mutual coexistence or collective order. In positive stage, there was universality or universal order. If we take the prevailing sentiment, in theological stage, affection or attachment; in metaphysical stage, mutual respect or veneration; in positive stage, kindness or benevolence. Now let us see another contribution of Auguste Comte, that is classification of sciences. Auguste Comte classified sciences in the form of a hierarchy. He gave the first place to mathematics, then astronomy, then physics, fourth one is chemistry, then biology, at the top sociology. He had the idea that the positive stage of the science depends upon the order of development, order of precision, and increasing complexity and generality. He says that when there is increasing complexity and generality, then the science will attain the positive stage. Now let us see these sciences one by one. Mathematics. Mathematics is considered as the basic science, and it is old and independent science. In mathematics, there is more accuracy. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 means in every place 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. But that type of accuracy we cannot have in sociology. That is why Auguste Comte gave the lower position to mathematics. That means mathematics is the basis for all sciences. Next to mathematics, astronomy. All natural phenomena can be divided into two, that is terrestrial and astronomical. Astronomy is the study of the heavenly bodies including Earth. Astronomy depends upon mathematics for calculating the distance of stars and moons. So astronomy was given the second place. Next to astronomy, physics. Physics is given the third place. In physics we study about the physical objects. These physical objects are determined by the movements of planets, etc. Next to physics, chemistry is in fourth place. In chemistry, we study about the qualities of the chemical objects. These chemical objects are determined by the physical objects, the heavenly bodies, and chemistry also depends upon mathematics. So it is given the fourth place. Next to chemistry, biology is given in the order. Biology depends upon chemistry, physics, astronomy, and mathematics. Biology is given the fifth order. Without mathematics, without chemistry, without physics, we cannot study biology. And sociology is given the topmost position because sociology is more complex, less precise, more specific. So sociology is given the topmost position. When taken into consideration the positive nature of subject, sociology attained positivism only in later stage. Mathematics attained positivism in early stage. In that way, Comte classified the sciences in the order of mathematics, astronomy, physics, chemistry, biology, and sociology. In brief, hierarchy of sciences can be summarized as follows. Mathematics, the most precise and general of all sciences, form the base in the hierarchy. Astronomy depends on mathematics for its calculation. Physics depends on astronomy in the sense it is necessary to understand the nature of Earth and its relation to other planets. Chemical action is conditioned by physical laws. Biology depends on chemistry, physics, astronomy, and mathematics. Sociology, the latest and the youngest science, depends on all the preceding sciences and occupies the topmost place in the hierarchy.